Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I am Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively, we are the Office Blokes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Office Bloke Mike is going to tell you about our Patreon.
Yeah, going off at patreon.com and putting Office Blokes Reacts. If you fancy supporting our channel, like a load of people have done already. It's been amazing, by the way. Thanks very much for your support.
Amazing.
Yeah, big time.
Go down there and check it out.
Yeah, good stuff. And Office Bloke Daz on Instagram is going to tell you about our two other channels.
Thank you, Office Bloke Dave on Instagram.
It's all right.
That's how to find you. We've got Office Blokes Try, where we try different things from around the world, and we've got Office Blokes Podcast, where we chat shit for a bit. And coming soon on Office Blokes Podcast, we've got a segment called Office Blokes Confidential.
Yeah. Office Blokes Confidential is coming very, very soon. Keep your eye on the podcast channel for
keep
that.
watching on the way.
Yeah, basically, we just want your viewer submissions of problems in your personal life, all that sort of good stuff.
We've got loads, so I'm just be careful about how many more you ask for.
I know. Yeah, so you can email us, officeblokespodcast@gmail.com. You're going to get roasted. It's as simple as that. But keep your eye out for it and you'll get a better idea of what's coming, because it's going to be very, very soon over on the main podcast channel.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And buy merch as well. We've not sold any merch for a while.
No, because it's shit.
It's not shit. I wear it all the time. Anyway, right, so 5 reasons you shouldn't mess with the USA. Do you think this is going to be quite military-centric?
You'd reckon so, wouldn't you, really? Yeah.
Could also be cyber-centric as well.
Yeah, maybe.
The USA have an enormous amount of power on a global scale, don't they? Which we all know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if you want to mess with them from anything from trade agreements to military issues to cyber issues, they've got the power.
Yeah.
I got the power.
I'm sure it'll cover sort of like past conflicts and things like that, won't it? Why you shouldn't mess with them, maybe. Well, I guess. But
I think.
Or maybe there's more fucking crazy people that live in America than anywhere else.
That's
number one reason.
Well, what is
got the craziness?
It's like when you go to Piccadilly Gardens, you don't start gobbing off because you fit in, then everyone starts having a go at you.
Oh, yeah. I went through that yesterday.
So is it 300 million firearms or something in the US? So that's
quite a lot.
It's a fair reason not to try and invade or something.
You'd guess, yeah.
Anyway, I think the main reason is going to be because their cousins, the UK, will sort you out if you mess with them.
Yeah. Just make that call, don't they?
We'll get the UK onto you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Make the phone call.
Give the Queen a bell. we need you.
James Bond.
Anyway, we're well digressing. So 5 reasons you shouldn't mess with the USA. Let's do this.
The collapse of the Soviet Union in the early 90s left the United States as the sole superpower in the world, and it's never looked back. In all aspects of the world, the United States is indeed a superpower, especially when it comes to its military might, which is unsurpassable in its strength, technological superiority, operational capabilities, and power projection across the globe. In this video, we'll take a look at the 5 top reasons why you wouldn't want to go against the US military establishment. The United States Air Force is the strongest in the world, not only in the number of operational aircraft, but also in technological superiority. The country currently operates a total of over 15,000 military aircraft, combining all the branches of the military service, including the US Navy, US Army, Coast Guard, and the US Marines. As of 2017, the US Air Force alone has a fleet of over 5,300 aircraft, 406 intercontinental ballistic missiles, and 170 military satellites, greater than any other country in the world. The USA has the largest number of stealth aircraft designed to be silent killers and untrackable by the radar defense systems of most countries in the world. Some of these stealth aircraft include air superiority fighters.
Them stealth aircrafts. I know they've been around for a long time, but they still look state of the art, don't they?
They do, yeah. They still look pretty sort of like
scary
serious piece
as well,
of kit.
don't they?
Yeah,
They're huge,
definitely.
aren't they?
You know, when they're involved,
Humongous.
shit's going down.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, are they actually bombers, aren't they? Is that right?
Yeah.
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 They usually are pretty sizable aircraft, aren't they? Bombers. Usually a bit bigger than
Yeah.
We did some on them flyover. Remember when we did the flyover?
Yeah.
Before games and stuff. And
Yeah.
whenever you see military aircraft, you just feel like, yes, don't you?
They look great, don't they?
Unless it's not
Yeah.
yours and you fucking see it
that
coming
is
at you.
shit.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Good point.
I think I said on that one about how at my son's school at the summer fair, they had a Spitfire fly over.
Yeah, it's great, that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the sound it makes
Yeah.
is just
Oh, the sound of the old
unbelievable.
ones are absolutely amazing, aren't they? The old,
Yeah.
is it Merlin engines, I think they had? Oh, yeah, amazing.
Did you work on them?
Anyway, the only thing I wonder with stuff like this, with the stats, do the US publish their military stats more so than other countries that might not necessarily be so trustworthy?
I've seen China and North Korea, they parade the fucking shit down the street.
Yeah, you know what they've got, don't you? I mean,
but they're not stupid countries like China. Do you really think they're saying, well, we've got 5 aircraft carriers and we've got a total of 4,000? There's probably loads that we don't know about.
You can imagine like a game of fucking top trumps with the USA and China, and we've got like 406 intercontinental ballistic missiles, and the Chinese guy just goes, COVID.
oh yeah,
He plays a COVID card.
Yeah,
that is this video demonetized. Nice one.
Such as the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, heavy bombers such as the B-2 Spirit. In fact, the United States pioneered this technology in the 1980s with the introduction of the F-117 Nighthawk stealth attack aircraft. Stealth aircraft are designed to avoid detection using a variety of technologies that reduce radar reflection from ground, sea, or air-based radar antennas, thereby reducing its radar cross-section, or RCS. This revolutionary technology allows a 5th-generation aircraft, such as the F-22 Raptor, with a max takeoff weight of 83,500 pounds, to have a radar cross-section of just 0.0001 meters squared.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
It's the names they give them though, right? Do you know what I mean? Like
Raptor.
The stealth Raptor. And all.
Yeah.
I think they should call it like the 2021 Karen. Right? They're like the bombers that are really sort of like, going in.
Yeah, but then it'd be all bark and no bite.
Yeah, well, that's
The
what I'm
B-15,
saying.
the B-15 fluffy bunny. Like
Your missus has got one of them in
I
her
think
bedroom.
I think subconsciously that'd frighten you even more. That, but
What, your missus fluffy bunny?
About the size of a bumblebee. What's more insane is that the massive B-2 bomber also has the same radar cross-section as the F-22 Raptor. Thus, it becomes extremely difficult to track stealth aircraft.
Look at that.
Even if the enemy spots them on their radar scopes, it's a whole other story to successfully track them and register a missile kill. The whole idea behind this technology is to break the chain in which a conventional surface-to-air missile defense system works. It's the same reason countries like China and Russia are also hard at developing their own stealth fighter, the Chengdu J-20 and the Sukhoi Su-57, respectively. These aircraft will allow the US Air Force to assert its air superiority over any battlefield of the future, and we all know that control of these skies is the biggest decider in any war. The next reason why any country going to war with the US military should think twice is because of the strength of the US Navy and its dominance over the world's ocean, especially...
What was that?
Something out of like one of the Marvel films, wasn't it?
Do you know what that just says? Fucking come on then.
Yeah.
Doesn't
If you
it?
fancy it, let's go. Let's dance.
That's like
Yeah.
a stealth bomber of the sea, isn't
Yeah.
it? It
Yeah.
seems like that same sort of technology.
And I think they do know what China's got, because I think China would want America to know exactly what they've got. I think they'd want to know that we've got this, we've got that,
Always
as a deterrent from America having a go at them anyway.
You always want to keep some cards close to your chest, though,
Yeah,
and
I
any
know.
superpower around the world is going to know that. You don't tell everyone everything.
Yeah, true.
I'll tell you what, China does have fucking numbers. They've got
It's
loads
true.
and loads of people. They just keep
Yeah.
fucking. As soon as you think you're finished, there'll be like another
Yeah, but
wave.
the-
There you go.
the,
Fuck's on the ground. There's another
yeah.
8 billion.
But the Russians tried that in the Second World War, where there wasn't enough rifles, so everyone had just run at the Germans, and then you've got to pick up the rifle of the dead guy next to you because they had more people than resources.
Wow.
And it didn't work. I mean, obviously you overwhelm people eventually, but the losses are too great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because of the strength of the US Navy and its dominance over the world's ocean, especially the Navy's supercarriers. The US Navy currently operates 11 nuclear-powered Nimitz-class supercarriers,
Wow.
which is the largest aircraft carrier fleet in the world. The only navy that can come close in terms of technological advancement is probably the Royal Navy of the United Kingdom, but they only have 2 operational carriers. The Nimitz class of carriers has a displacement of over 100,000 tons and can carry a complement of up to 70 aircraft. They're literally a floating small town in the ocean with its own airport. The Nimitz class carriers in themselves are extremely potent offensive weapons, but the way they operate in what is called the carrier strike groups makes these ships even more deadly. A carrier seldom deploys alone. There are always a fleet of surface and underwater assets surrounding them and forming a strike group. These include guided missile cruisers, a destroyer squadron, attack submarines, and other support vessels.
Wow.
Together, they project the power of the carrier and at the center of the group forward towards the enemy. While the carrier is carrying out its offensive role with the use of its air wing, the other ships are responsible to protect its flanks against any enemy attack. This combination of offensive and defensive strategy makes the US Carrier Strike Group almost impenetrable. The United States Navy maintains 9 such carrier strike groups, 8 of which are based in the United States and one that's forward deployed to Japan. For over 50 years, this has been the principal element of US power protection, and the Nimitz class of supercarriers are at the center of it all. Despite this, the US is currently in the process of developing a new class of carriers called the Gerald R. Ford class, intended to replace the Nimitz class ships. This new supercarrier will be even more technologically advanced and is expected to continue US dominance of the oceans well into the late 21st century.
Can you sort us out with some of the Nimitz carriers when you
We'll borrow
decommission them?
Yeah.
Only got 2 us. We should be able to buy some second hand from
Well, that's
Russia.
what I
Yeah.
mean. When they decommission theirs from the States, we can have them.
Should get a good deal on that, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
Bit of
hand-me-downs.
discount for being chums. You know, the impressive pieces of kit there, aren't they? Those carriers,
Unbelievable.
absolutely
Got all
enormous.
the aircraft on it though.
Wow.
That's why I don't get
I know.
it.
It's crackers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, never want to see all this stuff be put into use. But
Depends
can
who
you,
it's naive. Depends who he's with.
no, but but can you imagine an actual legitimate world war where everyone's tooled up like this? The absolute carnage and chaos
it'd be
it'd
absolute-
be. It's just these numbers that we're talking about, and the technology is so staggering.
A lot of this is just deterrent, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, this is what we've got.
Defence.
That's why America's the biggest force in the world, isn't it? Defence, absolutely, yeah.
Defense.
So if someone starts, then you say, "Oh yeah, right. I'm bringing the ships out."
Yeah.
The third reason why you shouldn't fight the US military is their massive stockpile of nuclear and conventional intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs. The ICBM plays the role of the land leg in the US nuclear triad, along with the Trident submarine-launched ballistic missile SLBM and nuclear warheads carried on long-range strategic bombers. ICBMs are launched from ground-based missile silos, achieving high suborbital spaceflight, approximately 1,000 miles above the surface of the Earth.
Wow.
The body of the missile then separates from the warhead, which re-enters the atmosphere and free falls to the assigned target at hypersonic speeds. The US military currently operates 400 ICBMs from its base in Wyoming, Montana, and North Dakota. The LGM-30G Minuteman III is the only type of ICBM that is currently operational in the US. The Minuteman III family of ICBMs were first
You get that name from you, Dave, the Minuteman.
It-
That's what we call you in the office, isn't it?
Not been,
Oh, yeah.
not been a half minute, man.
I like how you guys call me that,
He's
though.
a twin.
You couldn't have said an ex-girlfriend or something. It's you guys that are aware of that. No, the Minutemen were... It's on an oversimplified video. They talked about the Minutemen, and I asked. I've heard that loads of times, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
What it means.
Of course you have.
All right, all right.
You ask, look, why do you call me that?
Here's me asking the hard-hitting questions.
Oh, not so hard.
Dreadful.
developed in the 1960s as a response to the Soviet nuclear threat. Throughout the Cold War and beyond, these missiles have undergone constant modernization. In the last decade alone, the US military has undertaken $7 billion worth of upgrades. The rocket propulsion engines, the propellants used, the guidance system, and even the flight control surfaces have all been refurbished. The upgraded missiles are completely different from its 1960s counterparts, except for the shell. These state-of-the-art improvements and modernization programs have kept the Minuteman III system operational for over 50 years with improved reliability that supports the missile's remarkable 99% alert rate. The latest versions of the missiles have a range of over 8,000 miles, which is greater than the diameter of the Earth at 7,917.5 miles. They can carry multiple 330 kiloton nuclear warheads, which is 20 times greater than the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Not only that, each of these warheads can be assigned to different targets independently. The technology is called Multiple Independently Targetable Re-Entry Vehicle, or MIRV, and was first developed for the Minuteman III family of missiles. So any country messing with the United States will have to deal with this awesome arsenal of firepower, which can be launched at a moment's notice.
I fucking hope not. That's out of everything. That scares me the most.
It's scary, that, isn't it? I could literally hit anywhere in the world, couldn't
See,
they?
what they could do on the East Coast is fucking fire one east and get the West Coast without them knowing.
That came from the other way.
Wasn't us.
Yeah, so it's
That's Los Angeles
Russia
gone.
and
LA's
China.
gone.
Yeah,
Wasn't, listen, if it was us, we would have done the short route,
Right,
surely.
sorry about that.
Yeah.
that's it's terrifying, though, isn't it? Because that's game over for all of us. As soon as they
course it
start
is.
getting fired at other countries, that's
Yeah, it's just...
yeah. It's mad that one of them can go
Crazy.
up and it's got multiple warheads in it, though. So that'll separate in the atmosphere and then it'll fire down.
Yeah.
Three or
Like
four
fireworks.
of them. It's just crackers, isn't it?
Man. Yeah.
Of course, but now there's probably some kind of software that's, I don't know, Russia invented that can intercept it and re-divert them, and they've got one that can re-divert theirs.
So it's just going around for hours on end. And
That's
So
why
they run out of petrol.
that's why cyber wars are the thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
big
can,
thing.
You can
Yeah,
ground
it's huge.
ground all the nukes with a cyber war, and then
What happens to fucking outside now?
Yeah. And the
Them days are over. Them days are
Yeah.
over.
yeah, bring a nuke to a knife fight.
Yeah. Serious shit, this.
If it weren't the ICBMs or the stealth fighters raining fire down on you, it would be precision-guided munitions, or better known as smart bombs or PGMs instead. This is another big reason why not messing with the US military is a good idea. All branches of the US military use smart bombs in some forms or the other. These weapon systems are designed to be precise and hit a specific target with maximum efficiency. These bombs are so effective that during the First Gulf War, PGMs comprised only 9% of weapons fired, but accounted for 75% of all successful hits.
Wow.
Since then, for the US military at least, the days of normal artillery shells and unguided bombs are long gone. Nowadays, the military uses PGMs from air, ground, and sea. Precision-guided munitions come in various forms and use different kinds of technologies to achieve precise hits. A large majority of PGMs use the Global Positioning System, or GPS, of satellites to guide their trajectory to target. However, sometimes this becomes a problem, as GPS coverage is not always reliably available everywhere across the globe, or bad weather conditions can hinder operations. Thus, the Office of Naval Research, the Naval Surface Warfare Center, and the Army Research Laboratory have all coordinated to develop the first ever artillery-fired smart munition that will not use GPS guidance. The project is known as Moving Target Artillery Round, or MTAR for short. The MTAR shell can be guided onto stationary as well as moving targets in both land and sea, using a combination of guidance technology. The best part is that these shells can be fired from the existing M777A2 155mm towed howitzer and the M109A7 Paladin Integrated Management self-propelled 155mm artillery systems already in use by the US military. The shells will also feature an extended range of 40 to 60 miles using rocket boosters to propel them. Once finished, it will afford the US military another potent weapon system that outclasses others around the world. Lastly, the fifth and
That I've never even heard of that sort of technology. That's insane, isn't it?
Crazy, isn't it?
A tank just fires a shell and suddenly it's a missile that hits something 60 miles away.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely
precision
pinpointed.
like
Yeah.
It should never even come to a war again, should it?
With technology like this, you'd think people would just think, listen, what's the point? What is the point?
I don't think you can win a war without boots on the ground, and you've got to rebuild a country once you invade it.
Of course, yeah.
So, and that's what this last one's going to be, isn't it? It's going to be the.
I'd imagine so. The boots on the ground, the armies.
But that's forget the technology, because even if it's like why guerrilla warfare's become a thing, isn't it? Like in Afghanistan, people are just sort of coming out of nowhere, blowing things up, and then disappearing again.
It's happened for years and years, and that there wasn't it. Guerrilla warfare.
If you were coming up against this, you wouldn't stand on the battlefield against it, would you?
No.
Because you'd have no chance. Absolutely
the
no
technology
chance.
now is too good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's terrifying. This.
final reason why you shouldn't fight the US military is drones. We're all familiar with what an unmanned aerial vehicle or drone is and what it's supposed to do. But in recent years, the usability of UAVs are steadily increasing to encompass all spheres of military operations, and the US military is the pioneering spirit behind it. At first, used only for surveillance missions, drones were quickly weaponized after the 9/11 attacks and have been extensively used by the US military in the war against terror as an offensive weapon platform. It's forecasted that over the next decades, the US is in line to purchase over 1,000 combat drones of various classifications. Some of them, like the Lockheed Martin RQ-170 Sentinel and the Boeing MQ-25 Stingray, are already in the final stages of development, and once finished, will provide the US military with state-of-the-art platforms capable of multi-role operations, ranging...
When they were saying,
I'm going to get like a shell to build around mine that looks like that.
yeah,
Fuck, everyone's
Have you your own?
Yeah.
when they were saying the US are going to be buying this amount of them, my instant thought was who are you buying them from and what backdoor technology is in that.
Boeing and Lockheed.
And then they said Boeing, and I was like, oh, it's all right. Buy as many as you want.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous, isn't it?
It's crazy, and they look so cool as well. They really do.
Yeah. You wouldn't
From
mess with
attack mission...
Sorry, Mike.
them. I was just saying you wouldn't mess with them, would you?
No.
Technology.
Seen something like that.
Yeah, but technology now is just so fucking advanced.
It's just
isn't it?
it's,
And it's
getting
getting
all
crazy.
the time. It seems to be speeding up technology.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? All the time there's new stuff coming out.
You just learn how to fucking turn the TV on you.
Just don't change that. I can change channel as well now.
Big stick.
Mate, yeah, exactly.
Pushing the buttons.
Very long stick.
to aerial refueling. Drone technology has reached such heights today that a single UAV can loiter miles above the surface of the Earth for hours, waiting for the target to show its head and sticking with impunity. This capability will allow all the services under the US military to reduce its dependency on manned platforms, thereby reducing the risks during future combat operations. These 5 weapon systems make the US military extremely dangerous for any adversary looking to get into a conflict with them. In a conventional warfare setting, it's almost impossible to beat the US military machine. That's why modern enemies of the United States are employing more and more asymmetric warfare strategies against the mighty US military. Despite that, the US military juggernaut is hands down the most powerful military complex in the world today, and probably will be for decades to come. That's all we have for you today, folks. Thanks for sticking around till the end.
That was really, really
Same, I
interesting.
like that channel.
I used to...
What's that channel called, Dave?
Destiny.
Yeah, I like that. I like the way he spoke.
I did. Good narration, that.
I used to always watch stuff like that on the Discovery Channel and on History Channel and stuff like that when I was a kid. So I absolutely love it.
It's just so interesting, isn't it? Things like that.
Scary stuff.
You don't realise the size of the technology that goes into it now that's involved that could just fucking destroy the entire civilization, really.
I wonder if people always thought, like, the invention of the gun, then people were like, this is the downfall of everything. And then explosives came along and people were like, this is the downfall of everything. You know, and if we think it now with the nukes and all the other technology, people in 100 years are going to have some crazy new technology. They're going to be all lasering each other.
Something always seems to, come up, doesn't it? Well, I mean, they were talking about lasers from space, knocking out missiles and stuff.
Yeah, I think they can do that, apparently.
I think they probably can. But, it's crazy stuff, but some really serious kit there, isn't there?
We'll probably never see it happen.
Stuff.
I hope not.
Well, hopefully, I mean, America are the biggest military might in the world, but I mean, obviously China and Russia, they've got quite a bit of kit themselves. So I think people just hope that they just cancel each other out, sort of thing, and no one wants to try it.
A few countries have got quite a big, powerful military. Saudi Arabia, North Korea,
yeah, of course,
Iran,
Israel have got
Israel.
a really good army, but they're obviously allies of the States.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm talking about the ones that are not allies. Like you say, North Koreas of the world and Iran.
I think what one of the things is, and I can't remember what the quote is, but essentially, if you're holding a gun to someone's head and making them work for you, you're never going to get the output that you do when people are working willingly. And some of the countries that aren't necessarily allies, the way their power structure works in the country, people are being compelled to work to build technologies and things like that. They're not doing it out of freedom and ambition.
Yeah.
So they'll only ever hit a certain level when they're not working willingly. You know what I mean? You get US scientists, UK scientists that they love it. It's their passion. They're being helped. They're going to come up with better technology.
Of course, it's the pride for working for their country, isn't it? They'll feel it, won't they? Some of that kit. Wow,
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's absolutely crazy. That.
I enjoyed that. It was good.
It was really good.
Yeah, anyway,
thank God we're good mates.
Hey, absolutely, best buddies.
Hope you guys enjoyed that too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell, join us on our other channels, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.